Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. So I am going to give you the list of things that Manchester United have got to look forward to for when the football season does resume. Now, the things we have got to look forward to is seeing Marcus Rashford back. It's going to be interesting to see how Marcus Rashford performs. The good news is now that Marcus Rashford is back from his back injury. Don't forget, he did sustain his back injury in our 1-0 win against Wolves in the FA Cup third round replay and that. And he has been a big miss because, well, he was a big miss, should I say, because overall Rashford is one of our best players, and he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before he sustained this injury. Rashford, has been doing very, very well. Like I said, Rashford has spent the entirety of his career with Manchester United so far. He has been a United player since the age of 7. He was in our youth setup for several years, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then, Rashford has become an integral part of our team. Don't forget, he scored twice on his Europa League debut against Midtjylland, was it? He scored twice on his Premier League debut against Arsenal. I think he also scored in his League Cup debut, his international debut. Also scored in his first Manchester derby. This is when he broke into the senior squad. So I think this is actually been Rashford's 4th season in the senior squad. I think Rashford has over 60-odd goals in just over 200 appearances for Manchester United. Don't forget, Rashford signed a new long-term contract last year with the football club and that. So yeah, I'm looking forward, to seeing Marcus Rashford back in action. Will Rashford, be playing in number 9 when he comes back, or will he be playing out wide? Because obviously Anthony Martial's been playing in that number 9 role this season. Even though Martial does predominantly play out wide and that. So it'll be interesting to see, how Marcus Rashford performs when the season does resume. It'll be also very, very good to see Paul Pogba back in action as well. And I'm very, very excited, about, Paul Pogba playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. Because they've not yet had the chance to play together in our midfield. So I am very, very excited about that. Like I said, Paul Pogba's also done very, very well in training. He's now back from his ankle injury. Paul Pogba has only played 8 times this season for the football club. His appearances have been limited due to his injuries. The last game we did play was our 4-1 win against Newcastle, and the last time he started from the start was back in September, Paul Pogba and that. Now, there's actually no recent reports saying that Manchester United believe that Paul Pogba can sign a new long-term contract with Manchester United if he can build a good partnership with Bruno Fernandes. So we believe that Bruno Fernandes is key to Paul Pogba's long-term future at Manchester United. Now, as it stands at the moment, Pogba's got a year left on his contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. I think, we are going to trigger this 1-year extension. But I definitely do believe Paul Pogba's staying at Manchester United for next season. But I'm not too sure about the foreseeable future. If he can work out Bruno Fernandes, then I think Paul Pogba will be here for the foreseeable future. I really, really do, and that. I really, really do. There's still obviously rumours in the mainstream media, though, saying, Paul Pogba could still leave Manchester United, because since Paul Pogba rejoined from Juventus back in 2016, he has had a long-running transfer saga. Obviously, last summer he was relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. The main explanation why his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer is reflect on the substantial amount we put on him, because, we wanted £180 million for Paul Pogba last summer, and Real Madrid, were not willing to meet that valuation. But Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid last year, about his dreams of playing under Zinedine Zidane and that. It recently did say that Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, had held secret negotiations with Real Madrid. Mini Raiola has also held some talks with Juventus, but we believe Mini Raiola is the only one that wants Paul Pogba to depart the football club. But we've been very, very critical of Mini Raiola, reflecting on some of the comments he has said since the turn of the year. And that, but we have been, very, very critical of him. But Paul Pogba, I think, now wants to stay at Man United anyway. It was totally contrast last summer and earlier on this year, because last summer he said he was seeking for a new challenge and he publicly admitted that he wanted to leave Manchester United. And he said earlier on this year that he told his teammates that he wanted to leave Manchester United. And Real Madrid is still looking to do transfer business in the summer transfer, when the summer transfer market does open. Real Madrid did recruit a good, 6 players in last summer and spent, nearly £300 million on them. Real Madrid, of course, are also looking to offload players in the summer transfer market. They're looking to offload Gareth Bale. They're looking to offload James Rodriguez. They're looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos permanently. Karim Benzema's coming to an end of his career. I don't think they're satisfied with Luka Jovic. I think there's been rumours of Eden Hazard also leaving as well. But there you go. There was stories coming out the other week saying that Real Madrid were willing to offer up to 4 of their players for Pogba. And those 4 players were James Rodriguez, Brahim Diaz, Lucas Vazquez and Martin Odegaard. They were the 4 players that Real Madrid were willing to offer us. But swap deals have been high on the agenda anyway. Don't forget, Juventus have tried offering us quite a few of their players for Paul Pogba. Don't forget, Juventus have tried offering us Adrian Rabiot. They've also tried offering us Federico Bernardeschi, Douglas Costa, Miralem Pjanic, Aaron Ramsey. Matthijs de Ligt was spoken about a while back. But I did say, didn't I, if Paul Pogba was to leave Manchester United, I think he would make a return back to Juventus, because Paul Pogba did endure 4 exceptional years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined have been totally comparison. There has been stories from Lee 10 Sport recently saying that Paul Pogba's open to making a move to PSG, because PSG have been in for him. I did say for PSG to get Paul Pogba, they'd either have to offload Mbappe or Neymar, who are the 2 most expensive players in the world. But I don't think, PSG will get him anyway. We've actually confirmed that Paul Pogba is not for sale, because I think it did recently say that we value him at £150 million. Don't forget, Barcelona have also been in for Paul Pogba before. Inter Milan have also been in for him in recent weeks. But more or less now, I think we have resolved Paul Pogba's future. Now, I think also too, Paul Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. He's won 2 trophies at the football club at the moment, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. You can say that we made a mistake by getting rid of Paul Pogba when he was younger under Alex Ferguson, because don't forget, we had him under Alex Ferguson, but due to limited appearances, we had to let Paul Pogba go on a 3 transfer and that. And Paul Pogba has received a lot of criticism as well as a Manchester United player. Let's put that into the equation. He's received a hell of a lot of criticism. Obviously, his biggest critics throughout the course of this season have been Graham Souness and Roy Keane, and reflects on that, some people have advised Paul Pogba to leave the football club to stop the criticism, But it's actually, very, very good news that Paul Pogba is staying at Manchester United. It's, very, very good news. I think the best we saw of Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you, was in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. But yeah, I can't wait, to see Paul Pogba play alongside Bruno Fernandes when the football season does resume and that. So this is something else I'm very, very excited about. Something else I'm very, very excited about. But there has been a few players on our agenda who could replace me if he does decide to leave. But, I think, he's now staying at Manchester United. Paul Pogba, by the way, is not only the most expensive signing so far, who we've got. He's also one of the highest paid players at the club. You know, he's on £300,000 a week, or is it just under 300 grand a week? And if we were to give him a new long-term contract, obviously, you know, Paul Pogba would demand a huge pay rise in that. But him and Bruno Fernandes have done very, very well together in training. And Pogba's 27, and, you know, he has still got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him. You know, he really, really hasn't that. So, yeah. And like I said on my recent videos, there's decisions that Manchester United have got to make before the football season resumes. Maybe there's decisions as well we've got to make ahead of next season. That, like I said, you know, who's going to be our first choice left back? Probably Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back, and that because obviously, you know, Luke Shaw's more experienced than Brandon Williams. You know, Luke Shaw is now into his 6th season at Manchester United. You know, I think he's on around 190 grand a week at the club. You know, we paid around £30 million in from Southampton. Luke Shaw missed the first part of the season with injury. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone, but prior to that, very, very good left back. Brandon Williams, I think, you know, he will definitely know if he doesn't become our first choice left back when the season resumes or next season. I think he will eventually become our first choice left back. You know, because Brandon Williams has done very, very well throughout the course of this season, and it's been his first season in the senior squad. Now, don't forget, I give you the positive news regarding Brandon Williams yesterday. There was reports coming out, and it was stemming from The Athletic, saying that, you know, Man United have offered Brandon Williams a new contract at the football club. He's only 8 months into his current contract at the moment. He signed his last contract in October of last year, and at the moment he's currently on £4,000 a week. But obviously, you know, if Brandon Williams signs this new contract, he will get a massive pay rise, so he will get a lot more than £4,000 a week. You know, like I mentioned, Brandon Williams has played 26 games this season and started 19 of them. Don't forget, his first and only professional goal came in the 3-3 draw against Sheffield United. Also, too, made his EFL Cup debut against Rochdale, did Brandon Williams. And I think he made his Premier League debut in the 1-1 draw against Liverpool, came on as a substitute. I think he's only the age of 19, he's Williams. Obviously, you know, he's fighting for a place at left back with Luke Shaw. But his versatility is very, very good because, you know, he's being deployed as a right back as Brandon Williams. You know, he's being deployed as a left wing back, also to a left midfielder. So definitely Brandon Williams is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. So reportedly we've offered him a new contract. We know who our number 1 goalkeeper is going to be for when the season resumes and for next season. Obviously, you know, it is going to be David De Gea. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United have confirmed this. Of course, David De Gea is now into his 9th season at the football club. He's actually approached his 10th year, is it, at Manchester United. You know, David De Gea has been our number 1 for several years. Analysing it, I think David De Gea has had a good 7 years out of the 9 years he's been at Manchester United. I think in the last couple of years, to be honest with you, David De Gea has been a bit of a liability because he has made a lot of calamitous mistakes. David De Gea has made nearly 400 appearances for the club in all competitions. I think he's made around 138 clean sheets in all competitions. Don't forget, De Gea has won everything here domestically. He's won the club's Player of the Year quite a few times, reflecting on his good run of performances. So overall, David De Gea is still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You know, obviously he's the highest paid at the football club as well, and the highest paid goalkeeper in the world because he's on £375,000 a week. You know, we did get David De Gea under the Alex Ferguson era. We did pay around £17 million for him from Atletico Madrid, David De Gea. You know, like I said, back in 2015, which was 5 years ago, David De Gea was very, very close to making a move to Real Madrid. But obviously, you know, due to the fax machine on deadline day, his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise in that. And like I did say to you know, when David De Gea does eventually leave Manchester United, I think he will make a return back to Spain and that, because like I said, you know, he began his footballing career in Spain, his family's from Spain, his girlfriend and that is from Spain. But yeah, he's going to remain our number one goalkeeper. Obviously, you know, Dean Henderson, he's out on loan at Sheffield United. I think it recently said we've not yet decided whether we're going to allow Dean Henderson to remain on loan at Sheffield United and that. I think it said not too long ago that we said we were allowing to remain on loan at Sheffield United, but I don't think he'll be our number one goalkeeper for next season. Maybe we could loan Dean Henderson back out for next season, but I don't think we're going to get rid of him permanently, because we do see him as a long-term replacement for David De Gea, Dean Henderson. But he has been a revelation with Sheffield United. You know, he's had a few other loan spells as well with Shrewsbury, Grimsby, and Stockport was it as well. He's still got a contract with us until 2022 as Dean Henderson. We've also got Sergio Romero, but he tends to play in the cup games. He has played in a lot of the cup games throughout the course of this season. We've got Lee Grant, who of course Jose Mourinho recommended in his final transfer window. He's hardly played for Manchester United as Lee Grant. You know, he's obviously, you know, been injured or was injured. Obviously, you know, Joe Pereira, he's out on loan with Hearts. So we've got a few goalkeepers, you know. Diego Dalot, we've got to make a decision on his future. I think Solskjaer said he's determined to keep Diego Dalot. Don't forget, in recent weeks, he said the likes of Barcelona and PSG have been in for Dalot. Dalot should get more opportunities when the season resumes. His appearances have been limited this season because he's had quite a few injuries. Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. We did get Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window, so Dalot's been here, is it a year and a half, something like that now. We did pay around £19 million for him from Porto. We've also got to know what's happening with Angel Gomez as well, you know, because obviously Angel Gomez's current contract expires at the end of this month with Man United, and we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez. But obviously, you know, he's turning these contract offers down. The recent one I think we offered him was 1.5 million a year, which equates to almost 30 grand a week. But I think this is the final contract offer Man United made for Angel Gomez. We want Angel Gomez to stay at the club, but I think Angel Gomez has got strong reservations about, you know, getting into the first team. You know, Angel Gomez has only made 6 first team appearances this season for Manchester United. He's only played 10 times overall since he broke into the senior squad. You know, there has been clubs that are interested in him. You know, Chelsea are interested in him. You know, Arsenal were interested in him. Barcelona were also interested in him. But Angel Gomez is not the only one that's found game time difficult. Tahith Chong's found game time difficult. Also too, James Garner's found game time difficult. I think we'll probably loan James Garner out, to be quite honest with you. But there you go and that, you know. So yeah, so the decisions that Manchester United have got to make. And, you know, I think Solskjaer needs to work out his best 11. But to be quite honest with you, I think Solskjaer, you know, knows his best 11 or has an idea what his best 11 is going to be. Don't forget, Solskjaer's made a lot of rotation this season. Reflects on the amount of injuries that Manchester United have had. You know, but it's good that Solskjaer at the club has tried a few different elements. Also, too, he needs to work out his best formation. He has been going a lot with the 4-2-3-1 formation this season as Solskjaer, but quite a few times he's gone with 3 at the back. He's mainly gone with 3 at the back against the big 6 sides. A couple of times he's gone with a 4-3-3 as well. You know, I think he'll probably stick with a 4-2-3-1 with Solskjaer. Maybe a few times he'll go with 3 at the back and that, you know. So yeah, and other things, you know, that Manchester United have got to look forward to, revert back to what I said earlier on. We've got the FA Cup to look forward to as well, because, you know, we are into quarterfinals of the FA Cup. You know, we've got Norwich in the quarterfinals, and the FA Cup is a chance for us getting some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. You know, also too, the Europa League is something else we've got to look forward to, because we are into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. And that's also a chance for us getting some silverware on the board as well. So, like I said, you know, if we can win the FA Cup and we can win the Europa League, or at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It really, really would, and that. You know, Solskjaer's been at the club now, is it nearly a year and a half, including the 3 months when he was the interim manager. Don't forget, we've also got the top 4 to look forward to as well. Because definitely, you know, the top 4 is a priority for us, because we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. We want qualification for the Champions League, and that will help us have a competitive summer transfer window. We are sitting 5th at the moment, and we are only 3 points behind Chelsea in that. I'm also looking forward to seeing Odion Ighalo. You know, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, you know, if he can keep his good run of form up, because before the football season got suspended, you know, Odion Ighalo was in a very, very good vein of form. You know, don't forget, Ighalo's got 4 goals in 8 appearances for the football club. 2 of his goals came against Derby in the FA Cup. 1 of his goals came against Bruges, and 1 of his goals came in the 5-0 win against Lask. So it was actually, you know, 4 goals in 3 starts. But like I said before, with Rashford now back, you know, Ighalo may not get as many starts, but I do believe he should still get some opportunities. Obviously, you know, earlier on this week, it got confirmed that Odion Ighalo's loan at the football club got extended until the end of January 2021. So Ighalo is going to be staying at the football club for another 7 months. We've paid just over £10 million, by the way, to extend his loan. But as you all know, there's no option to buy, or there's no obligation to buy Ighalo at the end of the loan. And the main explanation why we got him in on loan on January deadline day was obviously, you know, to cover up Marcus Rashford, because don't forget, Marcus Rashford was out with a back injury and that. But be interesting to see, you know, how Odion Ighalo does. But with Odion Ighalo extending his loan anyway, Manchester United have decided to shelve plans for a striker. So we're no longer interested in signing a striker now. Because, you know, of Odion Ighalo extending his loan. But, you know, we are still looking to get Jadon Sancho on the board and that. So, yeah, so there's quite things that Manchester United have got to look forward to. I'm looking forward, you know, to seeing, you know, the youngsters play as well. Because I expect, you know, a few more of the youngsters to get more opportunities as well for when the football season does resume. I know Solskjaer's promoted the youth well, and, you know, some young players have been given their chance. You know, the likes of Greenwood, he's been given his chances. Also to Brandon Williams, he's been given his chances. You know, Tuanzebe was also in a good vein of form before the football season got suspended. Tuanzebe has just come back from injury in that. But like I said, you know, Chong, he's found game time difficult. Gomez, he's found game time difficult. So I expect more of the youngsters to get more opportunities in that, you know. So there you go. And as you all know, it's been the date for Tottenham Man United's been confirmed. We will be playing Tottenham on the 19th of June, which is a Friday 8 o'clock kickoff. And Tottenham Man United is going to be a very, very good game. Live on Friday Night Football, by the way. And, you know, Solskjaer's looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the 2nd time as a manager. Solskjaer's already overcome Jose Mourinho once. And he's looking to beat Tottenham for the 3rd time as a manager, because he has beaten Tottenham twice so far. Like I said, we have got a fully fit squad. Tottenham themselves have got a fully fit squad. You know, they've got Harry Kane back. They've also got Heung-min Son back of Tottenham. Don't forget, we were supposed to play Tottenham on the 15th of March, but obviously, you know, due to lockdown, the game obviously, you know, never materialised in that. So, yeah, very, very excited about, you know, the football season resuming. There's 9 games to play in the Premier League, and there's 92 games to play in all competitions. So, there you go. So, there you go, and that. And these decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got to make in the summer transfer window of what players, you know, he's going to recommend in, and what players, of course, he is going to get rid of. I've got an idea of the players we're going to get rid of in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window, maybe even just a bit more. We're definitely going to get rid of Phil Jones, because obviously, you know, Phil Jones can't even get into the team. I think we're going to get rid of Lingard. We're going to get rid of Andres Pereira. Smalling, we're looking to get rid of him on a permanent transfer. Rojo, we're looking to get rid of him on a permanent transfer. You know, You know the news on Alexis Sanchez. He's going to be staying in Inter Milan until the end of the season and that, but want to get rid of Sanchez as well on a permanent transfer. So we'll get rid of players in the summer transfer window. You know, we are going to generate money anyway. To be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. We have seen a total of 19 players go since Solskjaer came in. I think around 9 senior players have left and around 10 young players have left. Something like that anyway, you know. But yeah, he's going to get rid of more of the deadwood. Like I said, I think we can enjoy a competitive summer transfer window because a lot of teams are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window due to the financial issues with the coronavirus pandemic. Don't forget, Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer. But Solskjaer revealed his plans for the summer transfer window a while back. You know, he wants to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. You know, like I mentioned, this has been the 7th season we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. You know, this has been the 7th season. So we have been inconsistent for the last 6 or 7 years or so. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season and that, you know, the Premier League. And obviously analysing at the moment, City strides ahead of us and Liverpool are strides ahead of us and that. So yeah, we've got to get the right calibre players in the summer transfer window. I think Solskjaer may have a budget of at least £100 million to spend in the summer transfer window. Don't forget there were stories coming out the other week saying that we'd taken a £140 million loan from our £150 million revolving credit facility, you know, to help us through the coronavirus crisis and to obviously, you know, get the right players in to Manchester United. Don't forget our net debt now is around 429 million or just over 429 million because a few weeks ago our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds. Woodward did say though, didn't he, the other month that we won't do business or we may not do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So he basically ruled out big transfers to Man United and said we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds on players. And this is what, Woodward did say. But Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. He still wants to recommend the right winner in. He wants to get a midfielder in. And he is, looking to get a centre-half in as well. Our priority targets. Our number one priority target is Jadon Sancho. Another one of our priority targets is Jack Grealish. Kalidou Koulibaly, he's another one of our priority targets. Don't forget, he recently said that Man United had a £71 million bid turned down for Kalidou Koulibaly. He said that Upamecano is one of our priority targets. It says Joe Rodon, is also on our agenda. We're seeing him as an alternative to Kalidou Koulibaly and that. So, there's so many players on our agenda, Maybe there's some players that are linked with Man United. May not come. Because maybe there's a dilemma regarding some transfers. Because I think, we are actually reluctant to pay over £70 million for any player. So maybe Solskjaer's transfer limit's being set and, we're only willing to spend £70 million on one player and that and no more. So that's a dilemma there regarding Sancho because Dortmund have said they want at least £100 million for Sancho. Don't forget, Dortmund recently denied that Sancho flew to England because there was reports recently saying he flew to England and without permission and, he broke lockdown rules and all this. And recent reports have said now Real Madrid are looking at getting next summer in that. And we had a £125 million bid turned down for Sancho back in February, was it? So there you go and that. But but like I've said to Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows. And, he does deserve at least another season at the football club. Main explanations because he's still in the process of rebuilding. Is a transition period, and it's been a transition period for a while, and like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. And like I've said to I have seen improvements under Solskjaer. You know, like I said, you know, there's players that have improved under Solskjaer, especially the top players. I think, you know, we've definitely improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. You know, because like Solskjaer's recruited, you know, the players in that I wanted to recommend in. So far, Solskjaer's recommended 5 players into the football club and spent over £200 million. They've been very, very impressive, you know. So yeah, I've definitely not seen improvements under him. You know, done very, very well against the big 6 sides this season, taken 17 points against the big 6 sides this season. You know, there's things that Solskjaer's changed at the club as well, and revert back before the football season was suspended, revert back to that. Solskjaer was talking about how much he's changed Manchester United since he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018 and that. You know, but he has changed quite a few things, to be fair. You know, there's things that have saved Solskjaer's job. Definitely the signing of Bruno Fernandes saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Man United. I think wins against the likes of City and Tottenham earlier on this season, you know, they saved Solskjaer's job as well, because Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked earlier on in the season. And at that point, you know, there was talks of, you know, Massimiliano Allegri coming in, Pochettino coming in and that. You know, Pochettino was linked with the managerial role at Man United. Obviously, you know, before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March of last year and all of that. So, there you go. And obviously, you know, you saw my videos yesterday. I give you the breaking news, didn't I, on Timo Werner. We're no longer in for him now anyway, apparently, because we don't want to get a striker in. It obviously, you know, said now that he's agreed to join Chelsea's Werner. Chelsea going to get him for around 53 or 54 million, because that's his release clause. And reportedly, Chelsea have offered Werner a 5-year contract worth around £200,000 a week. So Chelsea have reached an agreement with RB Leipzig, because Chelsea have been in talks with RB Leipzig. Don't forget, it said from Sky Sports a couple of days ago that us, Chelsea and Liverpool had 12 days to activate Werner's release clause before it did expire. You know, at one point it was looking very, very likely he was going to Liverpool, but looking likely now he is going to be going to Chelsea. Chelsea will be delighted with this. So from a Chelsea perspective, I would be happy, because the only fit striker they've got at the moment is Olivier Giroud. Tammy Abraham did sustain an injury in January and that. So, yeah, so that's looking like it's going to be Frank Lampard's second signing as Chelsea manager. I give you the news as well on Raul Jimenez yesterday. You know the news on him. These stories were coming from Juve, saying that Raul Jimenez now is available for just £18 million. You know the news on Kai Havertz and Bayer Leverkusen. There's a possibility chance he could come to Man United in the summer transfer window as well. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes, below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.